The idea that the soul chooses its life before birth is a profound and ancient belief found in various spiritual traditions, including Eastern philosophies like Hinduism and Buddhism, as well as in modern metaphysical thought. According to this perspective, before incarnating into the physical realm, the soul exists in a higher, non-physical dimension. In this realm, free from the constraints of time, space, and ego, the soul engages in a form of planning or preparation for its upcoming life on Earth. This preparation is said to involve careful deliberation over the body it will inhabit, the family and culture it will be born into, and the specific challenges and blessings it will encounter. The soul does not randomly fall into a human body. Instead, it selects its earthly life with intention and clarity, understanding that each experience, whether joyful or painful, will serve as an opportunity for growth, healing, or completion of unresolved karmic lessons. For instance, a soul may choose to be born into a family with emotional or financial struggles not as a punishment, but as a way to learn compassion, resilience, or empathy. Similarly, it may choose to enter a life filled with abundance and love, in order to learn lessons of gratitude, responsibility, or spiritual generosity. From this viewpoint, every major event in life, loss, love, illness, triumph, is part of a blueprint designed to evolve the soul's consciousness. This concept reframes how we think about suffering and adversity. Instead of seeing them as meaningless or unfair, they are recognized as integral parts of a larger divine plan, one that the soul itself helped create. This doesn't mean life becomes easier, but it can offer a powerful shift in perception. When individuals realize they are not victims of chance but co-creators of their life path, a deeper sense of purpose and accountability often emerges. The soul's choice is not always understood or remembered by the human mind, especially because the process of incarnation involves a veil of forgetfulness, a spiritual amnesia that helps the soul immerse fully in the human experience without being distracted by its eternal nature. The decision-making process that occurs before birth is often said to involve spiritual guides, mentors, or a council of wise beings who assist the soul in designing its life plan. These beings, according to spiritual teachings, help the soul evaluate its past lives, its unlearned lessons, and its greater purpose across lifetimes. Through this evaluation, the soul decides what circumstances will provide the optimal conditions for its evolution. It is believed that even the people we encounter, family members, friends, lovers, and even adversaries, are part of a soul contract, having agreed before birth to play specific roles in our journey. This idea can also bring new meaning to the relationships we form during our lives. The difficult parent, the supportive friend, or the seemingly random stranger who changes the course of your path could all be fulfilling soul agreements made long before you entered the physical world. These interactions are not just coincidences, they are part of a divine orchestration that serves to awaken the soul and push it toward its higher potential. Another key aspect of this belief is that the soul does not fear pain or struggle in the way the human ego does. From the soul's perspective, the value of a life experience is measured not by its comfort, but by its transformative power. A soul might choose to live with a physical disability, experience profound loss, or go through a traumatic event because it understands that these challenges offer profound opportunities for spiritual insight and strength. The ego might resist or resent these situations, but the soul embraces them as part of its sacred journey. This concept can be especially empowering for those who have experienced intense hardship or trauma. Rather than feeling abandoned or punished by the universe, the idea of a pre-birth soul choice allows for the interpretation that such events, while painful, were part of a higher design meant to lead toward wisdom, healing, or service to others. It transforms the narrative from victimhood to spiritual warriorhood, someone who willingly took on great challenges for the sake of deeper growth. One of the most significant aspects of the soul's journey into the physical realm is the phenomenon of forgetting, losing conscious memory of the pre-birth planning and the deeper purpose behind one's incarnation. This amnesia, often referred to in spiritual teachings as the veil of forgetfulness, is not accidental. It is a fundamental part of the human experience. When a soul enters a body, it becomes enmeshed in the limitations of the physical world, the senses, the ego, the societal frameworks, and the cultural narratives that dominate human life. In this process, the soul's innate knowledge and memory of its divine origin and chosen path become obscured. This forgetting, while seemingly a limitation, serves a profound spiritual purpose. Without forgetting, the soul would not be able to fully immerse in the human experience. If individuals were constantly aware of their eternal, divine nature and the pre-planned lessons of their lives, it would likely diminish the emotional depth and sincerity of their choices. Life would feel scripted, and the authenticity of learning through experience would be compromised. Forgetting allows for free will to be exercised within the context of challenges and uncertainties. It brings about genuine discovery, trial and error, emotional vulnerability, and deep transformation. The soul knows that by choosing to forget, it will engage more fully in its earthly lessons and eventually remember its divine truth through inner awakening. However, the result of this forgetting is that many people live their lives under the illusion that existence begins at birth and ends at death. The dominant narratives of modern society reinforce this idea. From a young age, individuals are taught that they are their names, nationalities, genders, achievements, and failures. Society conditions them to define their identity based on external attributes and roles, rather than inner essence. The material world becomes the sole reference point for meaning and success. As a result, people often lose touch with the intuitive whispers of their soul and the deeper reasons for their experiences. Societal conditioning goes even further by instilling fear, competition, and conformity. Children are encouraged to fit into pre-established systems, to follow rules, and to pursue goals that often align with external expectations rather than internal calling. Over time, this conditioning can drown out the soul's voice, replacing curiosity and wonder with cynicism and disconnection. The idea that life is random or purely biological becomes normalized. Emotional pain is seen as something to be avoided or numbed, rather than as a messenger pointing toward unresolved soul-level issues. The idea of divine orchestration or spiritual purpose is often dismissed as fantasy or superstition. Media, education systems, and cultural institutions play a significant role in maintaining this collective amnesia. The constant bombardment of external stimuli, consumerist values, and competitive ideologies further disconnect individuals from their inner knowing. People become busy surviving, achieving, and comparing, often unaware that beneath their struggles lies a forgotten agreement. The soul's plan for growth, healing, and awakening. Mental and emotional suffering increases when life is seen as arbitrary, unjust, or meaningless. People ask, "Why is this happening to me?" without realizing they once chose the very conditions that now challenge them. This misunderstanding leads to a sense of victimhood and spiritual isolation. Yet, this forgetting is not irreversible. Many spiritual traditions and teachers emphasize that awakening is the process of remembering. Through introspection, meditation, dreams, spiritual practices, and life's initiations, individuals begin to reconnect with the deeper currents of their being. They start to see that there may be more to life than chance or survival. Synchronicities, inner callings, and moments of clarity become breadcrumbs on the path back to the soul's original blueprint. Even suffering, when approached with openness and inquiry, can lead to profound revelations about one's purpose and the soul's plan. This contrast between forgetting and remembering creates the very tension that fuels spiritual evolution. Without forgetting, there would be no journey home. The soul, by immersing itself in a world that denies its existence, challenges itself to awaken within the illusion. This awakening is not just personal, it contributes to the collective shift in consciousness. When one person begins to remember who they truly are and why they are here, they become a beacon for others still lost in the fog of forgetfulness. The concept of past lives is deeply rooted in various spiritual and philosophical traditions, suggesting that the soul undergoes multiple incarnations across different lifetimes in its journey toward enlightenment and self-realization. While mainstream science does not officially recognize reincarnation, countless personal testimonies, spiritual teachings, and ancient texts offer compelling insights that point to the soul's continuity beyond a single lifetime. Among the most intriguing aspects of this belief are the subtle and sometimes startling signs that hint at memories or connections from previous incarnations. These signs often manifest through experiences that defy logical explanation. Déjà vu, strong and inexplicable emotional reactions, vivid dreams, and instant familiarity with people or places. Déjà vu, a term derived from French meaning already seen, is a common experience that many people encounter. It is that sudden, eerie sensation of having lived through a present moment before. While some may attribute it to brain chemistry or coincidence, those who believe in reincarnation view déjà vu as a glimpse into a memory from a past life. It is as if, for a brief moment, the soul pierces through the veil of forgetfulness and recalls a scene or experience it has lived before. These moments may occur in places the individual has never visited in their current life, or in conversations that feel strangely familiar, suggesting that time and space are more fluid at the soul level than the human mind can comprehend. Another strong indicator of past life memory is the feeling of instant connection with people one has never met before. This sense of recognition is often emotional and intuitive rather than rational. Meeting someone for the first time, but feeling as though you've known them for years, may point to a soul connection that transcends lifetimes. These individuals might be part of one's soul family, a group of souls who incarnate together repeatedly to support each other's growth. The bond may be one of love, unfinished karma, or mutual spiritual goals. Similarly, strong aversions to certain people without a clear reason can also stem from unresolved experiences in past lives. Whether the feelings are positive or negative, they often signal an energetic history that predates the current lifetime. Vivid dreams are another gateway to past life recall. Unlike ordinary dreams that reflect daily life or subconscious thoughts, past life dreams often have a distinct quality of realism, emotional intensity, and historical detail. Some people report recurring dreams of themselves living in a different time period, wearing unfamiliar clothing, speaking different languages, or experiencing events that do not match any memory from their current life. These dreams may serve as fragments of memory, emerging when the soul feels ready to process or integrate aspects of its previous journeys. In many cases, individuals find that these dreams bring unresolved emotions or patterns to the surface, offering opportunities for healing and release. In children, signs of past lives can be especially pronounced. Numerous documented cases describe young children who speak of past life experiences with surprising accuracy, including names, places, and events they could not have possibly known through normal means. Often, these children lose the clarity of these memories as they grow older and become more entrenched in the identity and conditioning of their current lives. Nevertheless, these early expressions offer compelling evidence of the soul's memory surviving the transition from one body to another. Physical and emotional patterns can also be interpreted as echoes of past lives. Unexplained phobias, chronic pain without medical cause, or obsessive behaviors may stem from traumatic experiences in a previous incarnation. For example, someone with an intense fear of drowning may have died by water in a past life. Through spiritual regression therapy or intuitive practices, some people are able to trace these patterns back to their origins, and in doing so, find release and understanding. This process not only validates the existence of past lives, but also demonstrates how the soul carries unresolved energy forward into the present. These signs are not always dramatic or mystical. Sometimes they appear subtly through preferences, talents, or affinities that seem innate. A person may feel a deep attraction to a certain culture, language, or period in history without any direct exposure. They might naturally excel at a skill they never formally learned, like playing an instrument or speaking a language. These inclinations can be interpreted as carryovers from past life experiences where the soul cultivated abilities that remain accessible across lifetimes. The idea of reincarnation suggests that the soul does not live only once, but instead experiences a series of lifetimes, each serving as a chapter in its eternal journey toward wisdom, healing, and enlightenment. According to many spiritual traditions, including Hinduism, Buddhism, and various esoteric philosophies, reincarnation is not random. It is a deliberate and purposeful process that allows the soul to evolve by learning from the full spectrum of human experience. Every lifetime provides unique lessons, challenges, and opportunities for growth that contribute to the soul's progression. However, this ongoing cycle is not always embraced easily by the soul, and in many teachings, there is a deep inner resistance to returning to the physical form after death. After the death of the body, the soul is believed to return to a non-physical realm, often described as peaceful, light-filled, and free from the suffering and limitations of the material world. In this state, the soul is able to review the life it just completed, analyzing its successes, mistakes, relationships, and lessons. This life review is not punitive, but is conducted with deep compassion and clarity, often with the help of spiritual guides or a council of elders. The soul evaluates how well it fulfilled its soul contracts and what lessons remain unfinished. It then begins to plan its next incarnation, based on what it still needs to experience or understand in order to move closer to its highest potential. Despite this process being one of love and growth, many spiritual narratives describe a reluctance on the part of the soul to re-enter the physical world. This resistance arises from the knowledge that being human is difficult. The soul understands the pain, confusion, separation, and density that come with physical existence. It knows that upon reincarnation, it will once again forget its divine origin and face the emotional intensity of human life. This includes loss, illness, fear, betrayal, loneliness, and countless other trials. From the soul's vantage point, the earth can appear as a school filled with suffering, a necessary but painful path towards spiritual maturity. The resistance to reincarnation is not about fear in the human sense, but more about a profound awareness of the weight and responsibility of coming back into a body. For highly evolved souls, the reluctance may also stem from a longing to remain in the higher realms, where love and unity are deeply felt, and where there is no illusion of separation. These souls may hesitate because they have already learned many lessons and may be nearing the end of their reincarnational cycle. Yet, even these advanced souls may choose to return, not for their own evolution, but to serve others, to be healers, teachers, or guides for those still struggling in the dense energies of the earth. This deeper journey of spiritual evolution, through which the soul must continuously grow, is what drives the cycle of life, death, and rebirth. Each time the soul chooses to incarnate, it brings with it a subtle memory of past lifetimes, even if this memory remains buried beneath the surface of conscious awareness. Life becomes a series of initiations, each relationship, hardship, and success an opportunity to reclaim lost aspects of the self and to move closer to spiritual liberation. Karma plays a crucial role in this process. It is not a system of punishment or reward, but rather a law of energetic balance, ensuring that souls experience the consequences of their actions and choices across lifetimes in order to learn and grow. Eventually, a point may come when the soul has learned all it needs from the human experience. At that stage, it may no longer be required to reincarnate. This state is described in various traditions as moksha, nirvana, or ascension. Until then, the soul continues to journey through lifetimes, shedding illusions, healing wounds, and remembering its divine essence piece by piece. The resistance to reincarnation becomes part of the soul's sacred tension, the pull between the peace of the eternal and the growth found in the temporary. The more the soul awakens within the human body, the more conscious it becomes of its purpose, and the less it resists the process, understanding that every incarnation is both a sacrifice and a gift. The soul's journey is often described as a vast and unfolding path across multiple lifetimes, each designed to move the soul closer to its highest expression of love, wisdom, and divine awareness. At the heart of this journey lies a deeply personal and spiritual question. Is this the final lifetime, or are there more to come? This inquiry touches on one of the most profound aspects of reincarnation, the belief that the soul continues to incarnate until it has learned, integrated, and mastered the essential lessons required for spiritual liberation. The answer to this question varies for every individual, as no two soul paths are exactly alike. Some may be nearing the end of their cycle, while others are still in the early stages of their awakening. In many traditions, the soul is seen as an eternal being, originating from the divine source and temporarily inhabiting physical forms to gain experiential knowledge. Unlike knowledge gained from books or teachings, experiential wisdom is forged through living, feeling, struggling, loving, and overcoming. Each lifetime is an opportunity for the soul to deepen its understanding of compassion, forgiveness, courage, integrity, and the universal truth of unity. The human experience, with all its suffering and beauty, is the ground on which the soul's lessons are written. It is not enough to know about love intellectually. The soul must experience heartbreak and healing, betrayal and trust, in order to embody love fully. Some souls may come into this life carrying many past lifetimes of growth. These individuals often have a natural spiritual sensitivity, a sense of purpose, or a feeling that they are old souls. They may be drawn to healing, teaching, or service-oriented roles, not out of ambition, but from an inner knowing that their path involves helping others awaken. They may also experience deep existential questions, intense dreams, and a constant longing to return to a spiritual home. These are signs that the soul is growing wary of the cycle and is beginning to seek transcendence. For such souls, the current life may be one of culmination, bringing together fragments of past lessons for final integration. Conversely, other individuals may still be immersed in the early or middle phases of their soul's journey. These souls are still deeply involved in exploring identity, power, desire, and survival. There is no hierarchy in this process. It is simply a matter of experience and timing. Each soul evolves at its own pace, And what may appear as stagnation or resistance in one lifetime could be a necessary step toward awakening in the next. The journey is not linear, and the soul often revisits themes across lifetimes in new and deeper ways. A lesson not learned in one life may return in another through different circumstances or relationships. The soul's progression is also influenced by its choices between lifetimes. As the soul reviews its previous incarnations, it decides, often with the guidance of spiritual beings, what lessons remain incomplete and what experiences will best serve its evolution. These decisions are not made with fear or pressure, but with clarity and love. Some souls choose particularly challenging lives in order to accelerate their growth, while others may opt for more peaceful incarnations to integrate and rest. The trajectory of the soul is like a spiral, always moving forward, even when it seems to circle back. At a certain point, a soul may reach a level of mastery where it is no longer bound to reincarnate. This does not mean perfection, but rather a deep and sustained alignment with truth, compassion, and unity. Such souls may choose to return to the physical realm not because they have to, but because they wish to assist humanity in its collective awakening. These beings are sometimes called bodhisattvas in Buddhist tradition or spiritual masters in other teachings. They are living embodiments of wisdom who walk the earth as teachers, healers, or guides, helping others navigate their own soul journeys. The possibility that this might be one's last lifetime carries with it a powerful sense of responsibility and potential. It invites deeper reflection, more conscious living, and a greater commitment to inner transformation. Whether or not this is the final incarnation, every experience, every emotion, every choice contributes to the soul's unfolding path. The journey is sacred, complex, and uniquely tailored to the growth of the individual soul within the greater tapestry of universal evolution. Throughout this exploration of the soul's journey, we are invited to consider a reality far deeper and more expansive than the one we typically perceive. The idea that our souls chose this life before birth reframes the way we understand our experiences, not as random events, but as carefully selected lessons meant to guide our growth. Though we forget our soul's plan upon entering the physical world, that forgetting is itself a necessary part of our evolution, creating the space for genuine discovery, struggle, and awakening. Signs like déjà vu, vivid dreams, and intense connections with others serve as reminders that our stories did not begin with birth, and they will not end with death. Reincarnation presents a framework in which each life becomes a step in the soul's ascent toward wholeness. The resistance many souls feel toward returning to the physical form reveals the weight and significance of earthly existence. But despite this reluctance, the soul continues to return, again and again, each time shedding layers of illusion and moving closer to truth. And at the heart of this journey lies the question, is this the final lifetime? Are we approaching the culmination of our soul's work, or are we still gathering the threads of experience and wisdom? Whatever the answer may be, one thing remains clear: life is not a meaningless accident. It is a sacred opportunity. Every challenge, every relationship, every moment of clarity or confusion is part of a greater unfolding. By embracing the possibility that we chose this path for a reason, we reclaim our power, deepen our awareness, and walk more consciously along the path our soul has laid out for us, step by step, lifetime after lifetime.